Joining us is criminal defense lawyer, attorney Ryan Jones. Also joining us as well, we have BNC chief legal correspondent still standing by with us in the building, Laura McNeal. Always a pleasure. Ryan, since you're joining the conversation, you heard the verdict. Were you shocked or no?
Well, first, I'm disappointed, but
Why?
when we saw the decision earlier with the judge dismissing the gun charge, it kind of gave us the impression that maybe the jury had a inclination that he wasn't going to be held responsible. The judge made a decision that was really impactful to the legal arguments, and we kind of had the foreshadowing with that.
All right, Laura, did you want to respond to that? You said you weren't shocked.
I wasn't, only because Wisconsin is a very favorable state for self-defense, and it's because they have such a high bar for prosecution to have to meet a reasonable doubt. They have to disprove self-defense, and then the video, it can be interpreted different ways depending on to your advantage. The defense obviously posed that the video demonstrated that Kyle Rittenhouse was trying to defend himself. He was allegedly, again, kicked, hit in the head with a skateboard, having a gun pointed at him. I really think what tipped the jury over, though, is, it doesn't matter what your defendant looks like, and that's well established in the legal field. And that's why we dress our clients up in suits. We want them, as my mom would say, to put on their Sunday best. And Kyle has a very youthful look. He looked like a 17-year-old kid, even though he's now 18 years old. And when you consider what was going on that night in terms of the optics from the perspectives of those jurors for a 17-year-old kid, I think they really felt that it was reasonable for him to be in fear of his life. Now, again, whether or not he should have been out there in the first place is a different set of circumstances, a different conversation that really doesn't have anything to do with the application of the law to these facts. It's a very unfortunate, because I know a lot of people are disappointed in this verdict. Obviously, Kyle Rittenhouse's family has to be pretty elated and shocked as we are.
Yeah, I mean, he still has his whole life ahead of him, unlike the two men who lost their life during that deadly encounter. Ryan, talk about the unorthodox behavior that we saw from this judge during the course of this trial.
Looking at the judge and the decisions that he made, one thing, he's pointing to the video and seeing things on the screen and saying he couldn't really tell, and if it were blurry. He was leaning and kind of guiding the jury and the audience watching to a place where we are today, giving all the benefit of the doubt to Kyle, trying to make it seem as if, look, give a person as much of an opportunity here. And so he kind of dictated to the jurors, to the parties, where his mind was. Unorthodox as it may be, he had a very impactful effect on the decision.
Yeah, and speaking of that, also allowing Kyle Rittenhouse to pick the names of the jurors that would decide his fate, is that normal, Laura?
It's not normal at all. It's very unusual. But the judge did publicly state that that is something he has done in his court for 30 plus years. And so it's not a special set of circumstances he made particularly for Kyle Rittenhouse. What you typically see in a courtroom is you're going to have one of the staff members for the judge pick the names for which jurors will be the alternates, which will move forward with the verdict. So again, a very unusual practice, but Tashanea, this is a very unusual judge. Typically we don't see judges exhibit the type of behavior that this judge did. He was often rude, obnoxious, some could describe, and he didn't have the typical decor you would see in a judge as we see in the judge that's currently overseeing the trial for the killing of Ahmaud Arbery.
All right, Laura, last question, final word. Can the prosecution appeal this case?
No, a guilty verdict is final. So this is the end of the road for the prosecution in terms of their pursuit of Kyle Rittenhouse. He is on his way home, to my understanding, to their home in the outskirts of Wisconsin, and he's a free man, and he's free to live his life without any threat of them bringing charges against him again.
A free man indeed, but we saw some of the challenges that George Zimmerman faced after he was acquitted. I mean, he was free, but was he really free? Ryan, we'll have you with the final word on that.
Yeah, that stand your ground issue has led him into a life of reclusiveness, and it's not favorable. So, look, he has a second lease on life here. Kyle Rittenhouse does. He's young enough. Maybe we hope that he can reform. And, I trust the judicial system. I believe in the courts. However, sometimes the things don't fall in your favor or the way you'd like to see them. But you have to hope that the arc of justice, it's long, and it'll find its way in Kyle Rittenhouse's life, and that he behaves better and acts differently going forward. He has a second lease. Allow him to do right with it.